Hey guys, it's John here from Sonic Drive Studio. I hope you're all doing well. I have a couple of amp-in-a-box style pedals. You know, the distortion pedals that aim to recreate the sound of actual tube amps with their tubeless analog circuitry. The idea behind these pedals is that you just plug these into the clean channel of your amplifier or else into your effects loop's return, and voila, you have a sound that is very reminiscent of an actual driven tube amplifier. I thought it would be fun to do a little comparison between the three amp-in-a-box style pedals that I have here in the studio, and since I only have three and I like even numbers, I figured I'd also throw in the dirty channel of this amplifier, this actual tube amplifier, as a reference as well. Now the pedals that I have are the Friedman BE-OD Deluxe, which of course is based on a Friedman BE-100 amplifier, the dirty tones of that amplifier of course. It's a very cool pedal, check it out. Then we have the Cold Lands by Sunless Effects, which is also very cool and unique. It's based on a Matte Amp GT120 amplifier, very cool. And finally, we also have the ENGL Powerball pedal, which of course is based on an ENGL Powerball amplifier, the lead channel, I think. Also a very cool pedal. And I'm going to run these pedals through the natural channel or the clean channel of my orange Rocker 15 Terror amplifier. I chose this amplifier because it's an excellent pedal platform amplifier, and the clean or natural channel on this amp just sounds great with pedals. And for the tube amp portion of this comparison, of course I'm going to be running the dirty channel. So the pedals are going through the natural channel, and for the dirty tones of the amplifier itself, I'm going to use the dirty channel, of course. As I said, just as a reference and to compare the sound of an actual tube amplifier to a sort of analog simulation of the tube amplifier. Now these pedals were not meant to sound exactly the same, so it's going to be interesting to see how they all differ in tone in this particular comparison. And it's also going to be fun to see how they compare against an actual tube amplifier's distortion tone. The signal flow is as follows. The guitar that I'm going to be using is my ESP Ltd Phoenix black metal guitar with the Fishman Modern in it. It's a great guitar that is tuned to drop C. That will be going into this awesome orange Rocker 15 Terror, of course. And the amplifier is being fed into my awesome Red 7 Amp Central reactive load. You guys know that I love it. And that will be fed into a York Audio impulse response from the ORNG 412 V30 package, which of course is based on a 4x12 orange cabinet loaded with V30s. I'm using Mic Mix 01, and it just sounds very nice in combination with this amplifier, obviously. So let's start by taking a listen to the riffs through the dirty channel of the orange Rocker 15 Terror, so just the pure tube amplifier without any pedals up front just yet. Here we go. Great, I just love that fat and saturated orange tone. Now let's check out the first pedal, which is the Friedman BE-OD Deluxe, into the natural channel of this amplifier. Now this is a 2-channel pedal with plenty of gain on tap. And the top channel, so the green channel, is the one that I'll be using here. And it also has the blue channel, which has slightly less gain than the green channel, which is a kind of handy feature for playing live for, say, rhythm and lead tones. So that's pretty cool. This pedal is pretty flexible when it comes to shaping the tone, as aside from the normal volume and gain controls, and of course the 3-band EQ, there's also a presence control and a tight switch over here. The presence, of course, lets you dial in the overall brightness of the pedal, which is very handy for matching it to your amplifier, and the tight switch lets you dial in the amount of sort of low-end tightness. Presence is set to around 9 o'clock-ish, and the tight switch is set to the bottom position, which sonically is sort of the middle position. And again, this pedal will be fed into the natural or clean channel of the Orange Rocker 15 Terror. Here we go. Wow, that sounded great. This pedal really has a very nice growl to it that I really like. Perhaps this will be the most aggressive sounding pedal in the bunch. I know that this pedal works very well with metal and more aggressive styles. Very cool. And of course this pedal also has plenty of shaping options, which makes it quite versatile, so it's an awesome pedal. I must say that this pedal was a little bit on the noisy side, so I had to use a noise gate to get rid of that noise, so that's something to keep in mind. Now let's check out the Cold Lands by Sunless Effects. This pedal is very interesting and unique since it's also based on an amplifier that's also pretty interesting and unique, the Matt Amp GT120, which is a very popular amp in the stoner and doom genres. But you can even get some very old school low to mid gain tones out of this thing, so it's actually quite versatile too. Do check out my full in-depth video about this pedal. You can watch it up here or down here as well, just for more information about this pedal and for more tonal flavors that this thing has to offer. One of the controls that makes this pedal so unique is the depth control over here. It basically acts as a sort of low cut, so you can make it sound a lot tighter by dialing this in right here. I have it set to the top setting, which I prefer because it's nice and fat and thick. And this pedal also has a bass and treble control, as well as a presence control, and a gain control and a master control. So it's pretty simple, but still very flexible. And the way that the controls react and interact with each other is very cool as well. So there's a very wide range on all the controls, which you can learn more about by watching my dedicated video. So let's now take a listen to this pedal into the Orange Rocker 15 Terror. Let's go ahead and check that out right now. Wow, that was great! Sort of edgy, very fat, and with a very natural distortion character. It has a very great basic sound that fit this song, the guitar and the amplifier very well. Note that this pedal can also sound very good into the effects return of your effects loop, and you can also hear how that sounds in my dedicated video. Now note that this pedal, as opposed to the Friedman, was not noisy at all. It was very clean sounding. And now the final pedal, the ENGL Powerball pedal. This pedal is the most basic pedal in the bunch. It only has a volume and a gain control as well as a 3-band EQ, so very straightforward. So it's a little bit flexible, but will that matter in this test? We will see. Let's check out how this pedal sounds into the orange amplifier right now. Great! This pedal also sounded really good, I must say. Plenty of gain with a good balance of frequencies. I thought it sounded great in comparison with this amplifier also. This pedal also wasn't very noisy. Just as the Cold Lands, there was a very low amount of noise, as opposed to the Friedman, which was quite noisy for some reason. So yeah, great pedal. Now let's check out an isolated A-B back-to-back comparison so you can hear all the pedals side by side with the actual tube amplifier's distorted tone as well. Here we go. Very cool. I thought that they all sounded great in their own way, and they all fit the music, the guitar, and this amplifier and the IR very well. Of course, they do have their own features, which does make them all unique when you compare them to each other. The Friedman has those 2 channels, which makes it very flexible for live performances, as well as the presence and tight switches, of course, which is great for dialing in that tone and for getting it just right for your guitar. The Cold Lance, again, is the most unique pedal in the bunch with its unique tonal flavors that it has to offer. And of course, its unique depth control. You can get some very fat and fuzzy tones and very dark tones out of this, as well as very bright and more thin and articulate tones as well. And it does low to mid gain tones very well as very high gain tones and everything in between. The ENGL was also great, but of course the most simple and most straightforward pedal in the bunch. I do also have a dedicated video about this pedal, which you can watch up here and down here as well. If you're a simple plug and play player who just likes to plug this pedal in and go, this pedal might be for you. It sounds great, and again, it's very simple and straightforward. The dirty tones from the orange itself also sounded great, of course. I love the orange character. Did you think that the pedals came close to the actual tube preamp Distortion in terms of how organic and natural they sounded? Or was there perhaps still a significant difference between these 2 worlds? Let me know in the comments down below what your thoughts are on this topic, because I'd love to know. Also, which one of these 3 pedals was your favorite in this test? Which one sounded the best for these riffs? And also, which one would you buy and why? That's all for this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you enjoyed it, please consider hitting the subscribe and like button, as that really helps the channel out, and I just really appreciate that. You can also follow Sonic Drive Studio on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you very soon. Cheers!